everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Best Girl. Let's get right into it. Okay, Best Girl might be a bit premature. It is Diane, but you know, she is cute, so do with that as you will. Okay, Diane is the Serpent Sin of Envy of the Seven Deadly Sins and a member of the Giant Clan. Seeing as her normal height in her giant form is 30 feet, however, she can also be reverted into a human form by a potion that Merlin made for her, in which her size is only 5 feet and 5 inches. Her sacred treasure is Warhammer Gideon, which she uses in conjunction with her inherited power, Creation, using which she can mold the earth into golems to do fighting for her or generally just keep her company as well. Just a quick fun fact, Warhammer Gideon is the second heaviest sacred treasure of the Seven Deadly Sins, being second to only Divine Axe Rita held by Escanor. Okay, during the New Holy War arc, Diane's strength was fully recognized by the former king of the Giant Clan, Droll, as he himself died protecting her after declaring her his successor, making her the next potential ruler of the Giants, as well as the unofficial Giant Queen. She is also the wife of King, who is currently the king of the Fairy Clan, making them the two monarchs of the Fairy and Giant Clan individually, which would, I assume, deepen relations between the two clans who were already pretty close to begin with. Okay, let's get right into her backstory, shall we? Okay, Diane is, just quick fun fact, Diane is roughly about 750 years old, and so about 700 years ago, Diane left the Giant Clan due to her hatred for fighting. After her departure, she took 2 golems to accompany her, as I mentioned earlier, despite either of them being unable to talk. She was always alone and played with her golems as there were no other living beings who would accept her. However, at one time, I assume 100 years later, Diane found an injured king lying unconscious on a riverbank and nursed him back to health. King, who had taken a hard blow to his head, had lost all of his memories of his past life, and in gratitude spent the next 500 years playing with and protecting Diane. Diane and King later also met an old man who offered Diane some food. However, King, despite them being a fairy and a giant, King, however, was wary of the old man and told Diane to be careful around humans. Due to unknown reasons, Diane ended up getting a fever, in which King panicked due to the fairies never having fevers and went out to get herbs. However, Diane stopped him, telling him never to leave her side since she never wanted to be alone again. The old man who gave them food earlier found them and gave them herbs for Diane's medicine, eventually curing her. As soon as Diane got better, King and Diane ended up playing tag with each other, as King told her that if she caught her, he will grant a wish. Diane took it seriously and caught him. Pardon me. King ended up making her new clothes because she somehow tore hers. This was shown in the anime, just, small stuff. And after a few more days, they ended up finding that hunter who they'd met earlier. However, they realized this was the hunter's grandson, because what seemed like a very short amount of time to them was a large span for humans, because fairies and giants have much longer lifespans than humans. Now, skipping about 700 something odd years, Diane had grown into a woman and was in the midst of being trained by Matrona to become the strongest giant warrior alongside her fellow giantess Dolores. That is a weird name for a giant, but whatever. One evening, Diane overheard Matrona's plans to make Diane the strongest giant warrior ever, and disliking Matrona's plans for her, Diane ended up making her mind to leave her village once again. She goes to find Dolores and run away with her, but Dolores declines, explaining that the giant village is the only place where they will ever be accepted, and there was nothing to fear once you've been accepted. Diane once again ended up leaving the Giant Clan all alone and entered into a petty argument with a group of knights, cleverly named Knights of the Golden Wheats, who discriminated against her for being a giant when Meliodas came to her aid and protected her, which was incredible to her because this was the first time an average human person, even though Meliodas isn't a human, but she didn't know that at the time. He was just normal human-sized, and so she was amazed that he held no prejudice against her and wanted to protect her as he would anyone else. And so, much to her dismay, Diane ended up growing feelings for Meliodas. And now let's skip, another 4 or so years. And Diane had joined the seven deadly sins as the Serpent Sin of Envy. Diane was okay. So she was given punishment of death. However, she was saved by Meliodas, who gained legal custody over her, making her the member of the seven deadly sins. Sorry, I sort of mixed up my lines. Now let's skip, I don't know, another 6 years or so, and we get into the death of the Holy Knight Zaratras, where, all the seven deadly sins split up, and so Diane ended up taking refuge in the Forest of White Dreams, where she was then found by Meliodas, which led to the current timeline. Okay, Diane, just fun fact, Diane's sacred treasure weighs 998 kilos. I don't know why they couldn't just make it an even 1,000. That just sounds like a smart idea to me, but whatever. And one more ability, she holds the Drolls Dance. That is a very straightforward name. A technique created by the giant king Droll. By performing a special dance, Diane is able to increase her connection to the earth while increasing her power level the more she carries it out. Diane has mastered this technique after going through Droll's trial. Okay. Just quickly, her power levels at the start of the show were total 3,250, being split into 900 for magic, 1870 for strength, and 480 for spirit. However, after passing the trial, her power became 8,800 total, which is split into 2,000 magic, 5,200 strength, and 1,600 spirit. Well, I think that about covers it. However, I think that covers it. Jeez, I'm having a stroke today. I really do apologize. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll catch you on the flip side.